watching the film really helps. But I think maybe I shouldn't all the time because I can stop and ask you questions and listen and not.
No, I feel like you should.
I feel like you should as well.
Okay, fine.
Because you've come up with some really good points.
Yeah.
And I think it's a different perspective because, like, you don't watch films as much as we do.
Yeah, sure.
And I think we're all also watching it from different angles. Your first point was about child labour. We're like, isn't it so funny in this movie? And you're like, but children are being exploited. Hello and welcome to the first of our Vault episodes. That's what I'm calling it. The Three Takes of Stupidity. In this trilogy, we will take you back through our old episodes that don't sound as good as they do now and are just as funny and just as enjoyable. Unfortunately, our very own version of Che Guevara has jetted off to Thailand to feed some pigs and sail in some lovely blue seas. So he's left myself and the man that they do call podcast's answer to Julian Clary in charge. Chandler Monk, how are you?
I'm very good, Alex. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very good. Very, very good.
Are we missing James?
No. Sorry. Yes, we are. There's no one here to talk about child labour laws and the Green Party.
But as you did say that James is away at the moment on holiday for a couple of weeks. But he is here. Our third take is here. He's sending in something all the way from Thailand. And here it is.
Hello, Three Takes of Stupidity. It's James here from lovely Koh Samui. It is midnight right now for me. And we've just had the wedding. I was going to. Congratulations to Ryan and Danielle Jeffrey. It's been a lovely day. And now you are going to listen to our first episode that we ever recorded. Well, bar the one Chandler and Alex did that was positively terrible. The first of the three of us, Wild Hogs. We had a lot of fun. We think it's one of our best episodes. However, the audio quality is pretty rubbish. We were still working things out, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoy it. I can't join in with the boys and tell you whatever I've been watching while I've been away. I finished Moonrise that I mentioned in a previous episode. That was great. But otherwise, I have been sunning myself on the beaches of Phuket and Koh Samui doing boat trips. I went to Pig Island and saw little piglets running around the beach and swimming. It's been bliss. I had a lot to drink. Congratulations to the happy couple. Congratulations to the Three Takes of Stupidity. Putting these out. Very proud that we're putting out Wild Hogs. Enjoy.
Thanks, James. That was very insightful. We have no idea what he said because he refused to send it before we started. So, if he said something abhorrently racist, we're so sorry. And if he didn't, we're also so sorry to some listeners who wanted that. As I said in the intro, this is one of our Vault episodes. This is from when we started podcasting about just over a year ago. This was recorded in March of 2024.
Yeah.
Do you have fond memories of that one?
It's a weird time because as the listeners will hear when they go through the episode, like they could hear our original idea, like for the podcast that eventually became this one. So it was called Pratfalling instead of the Three Takes of Stupidity.
Still maintain it's a better name.
Oh, I don't know. It's a very niche movie reference for people to get. Whereas Three Takes of Stupidity kind of says what it does on the tin. Does what it says on the tin.
We're three idiots, as Chandler just proved by messing up the name.
And yeah, like a slightly different running order where we would go through the film, have a game, which we got rid of.
I enjoyed the game. It sucks from an audio point of view.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But you'll enjoy our laughter and you can hopefully follow along.
And yeah, then we discussed the theme of the film, which is basically what our takes are now. But it was really interesting because we recorded this in person as well, whereas now we record remotely. And I think you can tell it's recorded in person because, unfortunately, and I'm very sorry for this, but the audio quality of this original episode is pretty poor.
Not as good as we would have liked. It's still listenable.
It is still listenable. I think that was one of the reasons why we didn't actually release it as our very first episode, because the three of us were just like, this, we can do better in terms of the quality of the production. Not necessarily the quality of the content. Content is still pretty good. That's why we're going to release it now.
The content of this is, I would say, one of our better episodes. It's at the top end for me. I loved this film.
I like this film as well. And you'll find that out when you actually hear what we had to say about it a year ago.
It's a really interesting time capsule as well from when we first started podding. Because when we first started podding, we believed that it would be really easy. We just went into a room and realised that we had absolutely nothing to talk about and we weren't very interesting. We might still not be very interesting and have nothing to talk about, but at least there's a film in there somewhere.
We are definitely not very interesting to listen to, that evidently.
If you're bored now, sorry.
But yeah, like there's some other little tidbits, like James's chuckle chart, the origin of James's chuckle chart that we reference occasionally during our funnier episodes. And yeah, you're right. It's a really good time capsule for us and how we thought the start of our pod journey would have gone, but we ended up not releasing those as the first few episodes and tweaked the name, the running order slightly, our themes and whatever. And yeah, and now we've gone into what, the format that we will carry on doing. But no, it's a nice little time capsule to look back on.
And now we've gone full circle because we've actually reduced ourselves to 2 people. James is fired.
Well, no, it's because that's the funny thing. Like we said, I think we said it in our end of year episode. Like originally the idea was just going to be me and Alex talking and James would just be sat on the side and just making sure we stay along one running order and not really saying anything.
Which, as you can hear from this, it works.
But as you said, like it does. James comes in, he comes in from films from a really different angle. Like his first idea about Wild Hogs was about child labour.
Yeah, that's the first thing he saw. We saw a funny film. He was like, people are being exploited. We had to keep him.
So yeah, I think me and Alex have droned on a bit too much, being a little bit self-congratulatory about the fact that we're releasing an unreleased episode.
We're so good.
So here it is, warts and all. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, have fun.
Or not. Hello and welcome to the Pratfalling podcast with me, Alex Clinton, and a man who owns 3 copies of iRobot on Blu-ray, Mr. Chandler Monk.
Why 3 copies? But hello, everyone.
4 would be insane. And of course, we are always joined by a man who swallowed more plasticine than a groupie on Wallace and Gromit, Mr. James Robin.
Why is my fake thing so much worse than Chandler's?
It's not fake. It's not what we're on about.
I played with Play-Doh as a kid, as I'm sure you both did.
Mate, you've got purple in your teeth.
Oh, that's the American 5 gum that I haven't been able to wash out because of their chemicals.
Anyway, now we're underway. What have you been doing? You did some.
Alex is referring to the fact that I recorded a self-tape for a McDonald's commercial this week.
How? Why? When?
Why? For money. The obvious answer.
How?
I've got a tripod at home. I put my phone up and I do the directions they send for the self-tape. Surprisingly, I did not get this McDonald's commercial though.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, you know already?
Yeah, like sometimes it depends. Sometimes recalls are really quick and sometimes you don't find out for months. And in the 10 years I've been trying to do this, I've only ever been in one thing and it was the first thing I ever did an audition for, actually.
There are recalls.
Yeah, for commercials.
For TV adverts, there are recalls.
Of course there are. People spend thousands of pounds of money on this stuff. Of course they want the right person.
What?
Yeah. What? Yeah, the funniest self-tape I've probably ever done was for a sock company. I can't remember what sock company it was. And all they wanted me to do on camera was to get a pair of long football socks.
Stuff it down your pants.
Pull them up.
Like stockings.
Like stockings, exactly. There is a video on my phone of me in like football kit just pulling up socks like in various angles.
How many people did you send that to on Hinge?
That is what Charlotte dug about me when we first met.
You said commercial and dug about.
Let's move on from this. Alex, what have you been doing this week?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. James?
I have just got back from working in California. And Alex, you were also working on the Californian project, but You were not in California, sadly.
I was working in the rain of London.
Yeah. I was
There was
working in the
also rain
rain
in
of
California.
California.
It was raining in California. It was terrible.
Unprecedented level of rain in the desert.
To our listeners in California, we're sorry about the rain.
Yeah, it was. I probably brought it there, to be
Wasn't our
honest.
fault, but
English rain cliche. There. But it did allow me to watch more things than I've probably watched in ages.
What have you seen recently then?
I watched June, the first one,
Oh, okay, fine.
not the June 2.
What did you think of it?
I very much enjoyed it.
Did you have any idea what was going on?
Yes. But there's a lot happening. Timothy Chalamet is very intense throughout the whole thing. And a little bit extra to me. But I've heard his performance in the second one is excellent. So I'm looking forward to
The
watching
funny
that.
thing is, I think you're looking at me and Alex. I don't think either of us have seen the second one yet.
I haven't even seen the first one.
Well, you should watch it.
About sand and as Anakin taught us.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Horrible. It gets everywhere.
Do you mean it's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere?
Thank you.
I also watched the first episode of Shogun.
I've not heard of that, actually.
It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking.
Is it dubbed? Did you watch it?
It's subtitled for the Japanese.
It's in English.
No, as in they'll speak Japanese and they
All right,
subtitle
okay,
it,
yeah.
and then lots.
That
of
was the way round
and then-
I thought it was.
and then characters in it that speak English, and there's characters in it that speak Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
From what I gather from the first episode. Also, I was in California. There's certain thing that is legalized there. I was not in my right mind while watching Shogun, so I might need to watch it again.
Did it enhance the experience?
It enhanced every experience.
I really hope you were like sat there doing karate.
Because I
Yeah.
so for our listeners in Japan,
For our listeners in Japan.
No one's going to understand that joke.
Yeah,
no one's ever going to hear the first recording of this.
so yeah, I watched that. But then when it was raining all day in California, so I didn't do anything on my day off, and I watched Shogun. But when everyone came back, we just kept watching Key and Peele.
Oh, God. What's everyone's favourite Key and Peele sketch?
And I said, bitch.
That's always a good one.
The first
You said
episode.
that. You really said that.
You really said that? Alex, do you have a favourite Key and Peele?
Again, was very
Out of it.
yes. And
For our
it
listeners,
was
he was drunk-ish.
not drunk. It's
Drunk
legal in
on
California.
marijuana.
I was stoned out my mind.
Probably racist zombies.
Nice. I do. That's a really good one. I really like that sketch. I think mine are probably quite standard. The substitute teacher always gets me, and Cunnilingus class. Love that episode.
Oh my god!
Welcome to Cunnilingus class.
I really liked the racist singer with the guitar.
The country songs.
Country songs.
Like country
And
songs
he's
being
like-
racist.
Yeah, he doesn't realise he's racist. And
Love that sketch.
oh my god.
Would you like to sing one for us?
Yeah. But it was yeah, it was good. I watched a few anime, but I know that's not you guys.
No, that's for a different podcast probably.
But, it was nice.
Alex, you've seen anything recently?
I have. I watched American Psycho for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah. We spoke about this though because we were like, the film came out 25 years ago now,
Yeah.
and it's like back then it was very different from everything that came out. Whereas now it's like you've sort of seen those tropes go through, but I think if you watch it through the lens of it being in the late 90s or the 2000s, something like that.
97, I want to say.
Yeah.
Something like
Like it is when I watched it, I don't know, about 10 years ago, and I really enjoyed watching it, I think.
I really like Christian Bale in it, but I was on the wrong side of that movie because there were people in it that came in. I was like, you should murder them. They should be murdered. And then he wouldn't kill them. I'd be like, oh, damn it.
So Alex is rooting for people who should be murdered but aren't. Good way to live, Alex.
but
Good way to live.
then there's people that he does murder. I'm like, oh, no, don't
Oh
murder
no,
them.
they were really nice. Yeah, they were really nice. Oh, that's a shame.
But that's because I love Dexter. So I was working on that mindset of don't kill the good people.
Don't kill the good. Only the bad people should die.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Okay, should we get to the task at hand?
Should we get into it?
Yeah, sure. So Alex, why have you chosen the film we're about to talk about?
Because I used to love it.
Used to. What is it, first of all?
It's Wild Hogs.
Wild Hogs, okay.
As you guessed from the title of this episode, we will be talking about Wild Hogs. I loved it when it came out around 2007,
Yeah.
probably 2008, maybe even in 2009.
All the way up into those early teenage years, yeah?
Until now, it's not it's not bad. It like pushes past the barrier of bad into fantastic.
There are a lot of films like that are like so bad they're amazing. I would actually say this is not one of them.
I would agree. This is not one of them.
But me and James, but this is before James interrupted me. What I was going to say is this film is okay. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's just a standard. Put on a film for an hour and a half and just sit back and just watch.
There are so many things in it that it's more than that, because it's like, we'll come on to it later, but the people that are in it, the things that happen, you're like, why is this isn't just like run of the mill?
It was boring.
It's not boring. There are boring films out there.
Boring.
It's an hour and a half. It's really hard to be boring in an hour and a half
No,
film.
yeah, but somehow they spend the first 35, 40 minutes.
It's all set up. Like, come on.
It's all set up for 40 minutes, but ultimately not enough time at the rest of it.
Anyway,
It was. I really struggled at 35 minutes. I paused it, went to the bathroom, and sat back down. I was like, I really don't want to watch this. This is so dull.
Did it feel like work?
Yes, it felt like work. It felt like work. It picks up once the story actually starts. 30 to 45 minutes into the film, it's fine.
Is that how long it is?
No, I don't think it is.
I paused it at 30 minutes before they get on the bikes and go.
That's because you've got to know the people. But I will say,
but you don't learn much.
As a side, you learn enough. You learn the basics.
You get a lot of time with one character, the dentist,
Tim Allen,
and not much time with everyone else. And
Yeah, but I would say that.
then eventually the film starts.
Yeah, but I would say that because, the other three characters are pretty stock standard characters. Like, their 5-minute introductions is probably all you need to know. And then you need like the inciting incident for one of them to go, right, let's just get on the bikes and go on our road trip.
But he's not the character where something necessarily happens that leads to them deciding to go. It's Woody's character which actually decides upon wanting to do a road trip. Yes, he does have a midlife. They all have a midlife crisis. That's the entire point of all the characters. But he has the most setup time. But he's not the guy that decides on the road trip.
But he's the guy who has the incident of, the panic attack that goes, right, I actually want to do this thing my friend suggested.
The reason they actually go on the trip is such bollocks. It's not even. It's like this guy comes over and is like, "Oh, by the way, Dave died," and they're like, "Oh yeah, do you remember that guy Dave?" And they're all like, yeah, I kind of do." And they were like, "He was our age. Cool. We should go on a bike trip." It's such like a half-arsed reason.
But it's more the fact that John Travolta's character Woody is like, "Oh, I've got no money. I have no wife. I'm gonna lose my house. Let's get on the bikes and go away."
He also loves child labour.
What?
Loves child
breaking the leaves, the kids.
I was siding with the worker. And that kid had every right to be like, "This is an outrageously sized lawn. $10 is not enough."
But he didn't market his services properly, as John Travolta said. It's a child.
It's a child.
To be fair, in American culture, that's a fairly normal thing for kids to do, I think.
Yeah, sure. It's like having a paper round.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know the limits of your paper round, and it's set by an adult.
Yeah, so you're saying on his leaflet, he should have put $10 for X amount of leaves, and it will be $15 for more than X
I'm
amount
saying
of
an
leaves.
adult shouldn't be so anal about a child who set up his own company. That's supposed to be the American dream.
Supposed to be the American
And he's got 3
dream.
piles of leaves. He's done some work.
Yeah, but then he kicks the leaves away.
Yeah, good, because John Travolta's an arse.
But now he's $10 down. He's undone his work for when he calms down and comes back later, which we know children do.
He's going to go.
So what you're saying is John Travolta should sue the kid?
I think so, yeah. He didn't provide a service.
and he didn't pay him, but in the time he saved, that kid can go and do about 6 average lawns and make $60.
I think that was an average lawn, to be fair.
He's probably, that looked like the front garden. What about the back garden? That was a lot of leaves.
He doesn't need to worry about the back garden. He's
And
selling
that
the
kid
house.
only had a basic rake.
Right. Right, I'm just going to try and rule this back in. I think we're getting a bit too off topic on one single point of this hour and a half long movie.
We should always spend time advocating against child labour.
Can we reel in and then reel out again? We all say that they're having a midlife crisis. Their lives look fine.
No, but hang on.
Tim Allen is a dentist in America. He's middle of the pile, very I'd be chuffed with that.
Yeah.
I'd be well happy with that.
Who has to eat salad to not die?
He has to eat salad to not die.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a crisis.
Bobby, Martin Lawrence's character, has to unblock a toilet and he's like, no, this ain't worth it.
No, but to be fair to Bobby, he's not doing. Yeah, but to be fair to Martin Lawrence's character, his character's like going, no, I don't want to be a plumber anymore. I want to be a writer. I had to do himself like, but now he's being forced back into a job he doesn't like.
Okay, right, fine.
But they are middle-aged, and again, it's the whole thing of like they've got probably some of them have far larger houses than their income can afford. But this is 2007, so
Before the
different
housing
time.
crisis is what you're on about.
Yeah, just a year before the recession of 2008.
For everyone's bingo cards, a housing crisis has just come up.
But like, if you're his wife, they frame the wife as really annoying and a pain, but like, he's not exactly helping much at home.
That's a fair point.
Go out and do something and write in your spare time.
I love that you took the side of the wife. I did not see anyone taking the side of the wife because that's what she's there for, is to be annoying.
To be the nag, isn't it?
Yeah, but she's
The character is just an annoying person.
absolute cliches.
If we're talking about the wife being the cliche, can we please talk about the fact that Tim Allen's Doug's wife in this film, is played by someone who's 15 years younger
Is she?
than Tim Allen? Yeah,
Yeah, but in fairness, Tim Allen is very old.
Tim Allen's very old.
But that's another thing as well. You look at when John Travolta pops up, also right, an investment banker. He's living in America. Some investment banker's got to take a downturn. He look at the draw. John Travolta looks so much better than everyone else in this movie.
He was. I have noted down that he was already odd looking in 2007.
He's relatively odd looking because he doesn't look in his 40s or 50s.
How old is he? What, John Travolta?
Yeah,
His head's extremely square.
I think that's just John Travolta's head.
Yeah.
I think minus a quiff, he has a square head. Yeah. William H. Macy's character, Dudley.
Just the stock character of a nerd at that time. A computer programmer.
A computer programmer, an all-round nerd.
Although, I did last night consider I've got a pair of glasses that I've snapped, and I was considering how I can get a little like micro magnet and put on them and just put them back together, because I loved his little glasses that he split apart down the middle.
Do you mean the one where the guy punched him in the face and they broke in half?
No, they've got magnets so he can like split them apart, put them down,
I didn't see
and
that.
then put them back on his face by magnet in the middle.
Yeah. Those are,
My-
my dad has those glasses. Just letting you know that, James, if you want a pair.
Did you just say they're the coolest glasses anyone can own?
No.
That's for you, Mr. Monk. For bingo cards as well, that was a Chandler dad shout out.
But the glasses were cool. And it made me question how old Apple and MacBooks are. Because it's, again...
Apple's been a company since the 1980s.
Yes, I get that, fine. But I was like, when is this film set? Oh, it came out in 2007.
Yeah, it's set in 2007, most likely.
And I can't recall what an Apple laptop was then, because I wasn't 10 years old, 11 years old, or whatever.
Did they have iPods then? Was 2007 the iPod?
Yeah.
The iPhone.
Definitely
no,
not the iPod.
2009, 2008, was the iPhone.
So iPod
iPods were
07.
definitely a
Okay,
thing.
then that laptop he had looked far too old for 2007.
Yeah, it was a proper brick. Yeah, but
No, but that's what laptops used to look at.
programmer, he needs power, and that looked like it had power. Admittedly, the power to turn on porn mid coffee shop.
No, voice recognition, that's the thing you should actually be wondering about.
That is but
That's
it's
the voice
still broken.
No, I'm not sure how much voice recognition was a thing in 2007, but Apple, like iPods, they came out in 2001.
Yeah, fine.
No.
My point wasn't the fact that Apple was
Really?
there.
Yes.
My point wasn't that Apple was new. My point was it looked like he had a far too old machine for 2007.
I think you don't. I don't like.
But then, yeah, it could be just skewed memory. But I was 2 years out from getting a touchscreen Windows phone then.
Don't you remember the laptops we used to use for work to play out graphics? Even like when we first started, the brick laptops.
It's not about being a brick. It was just more like the way
It
the
looked
operating
like
system
those.
worked.
And that was like 2014.
The operating
those
system looked
laptops.
like Windows from 2001. But you loved that. You loved the porn joke.
I did find it quite amusing. Like it's a very like it's the thing about these types of films where like terrible comedies, like some of the types of jokes that are going to come up, and because they've been done to death by this point, and it's like, oh, they're still fairly funny, and you still give a chuckle at it.
I think that's what makes this film so nice, that there's loads of those moments that aren't, they're not incredible bits of comedy. They're just copied and pasted from other scripts. It's not just stuck in there, and it's just gone, he plays porn in a cafe.
It didn't make my laugh tally chart.
Did it not?
My laugh tally chart of mild chuckles.
Wait, what's this laugh tally chart?
So this film I found so unfunny and I didn't laugh for a while that I decided to start tallying when it made me laugh.
Did you go back and then watch it from the beginning to get the laugh tally up?
No, because I
Did you
did it
start from halfway through the film?
Because as I mentioned earlier, it took half an hour for the film to actually get anywhere. I started when I first laughed because I was like, this film is a comedy and I haven't laughed yet. And I did a laugh tally chart and that did not make it.
Can I advance us on slightly and just say, so once they're on the bikes, they decide to go on the trip. Dave's dead.
Dave's dead.
Dave ain't coming back. They're on the trip. They have that first night of camping when he sets the tent on fire.
No.
No?
No.
But on that,
I mean, I didn't laugh at that either.
So
That's fairly obvious.
yeah,
thing.
but that's fair enough because we're all European, and as we know, EU fire laws on things like tents are very stringent. There's no way a British or European tent would set on fire like that.
So my second chuckle on the tally chart did come at the camping scene, but the first one was the shopkeeper when he was going to unclog the toilet and just talk about how bad his job was. It didn't make me laugh initially when he made one joke, but when he doubled down with another one, I was like, it was like, your job's terrible. I was like, poor plumbers.
You were like, ooh, self-burn.
And then the second one was the throwing the poop down.
I did quite like
And the bears don't eat shit.
I wrote that down. I wrote that down. When John Travolta goes, bears don't eat shit. I really like that one as well.
Like, poop jokes and fart jokes aren't necessarily for me, but like, not just general ones, but when the timing is perfect and the slapping of that bag down was just beautiful.
I love those poop slaps. So that's during the camping bit? Is that in the morning or the evening?
Oh, no,
that's in the evening.
Is that in the evening?
Checking back on my list, the fire didn't make me initially laugh, but when he grabbed the fuel can instead of the water can,
That made you laugh?
I did go like,
We have three very different moments that we laugh at. Because these are three things like the fire is like it's a good part to like get in the film, but again, it's because it's quite standard. It's like, of course, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it didn't make me laugh, but I'm really surprised it made James
the
laugh.
fire didn't make me laugh. Like, the fire happening was so obvious.
Yeah.
But when he grabbed the fuel can, I would, of course.
Fling a burning marshmallow onto a tent. You were like, oh, of course.
No, I was like, that's not funny. But when he grabbed they were like, get the water can, and he got the can of fuel. Gold. Absolute classic.
Oh, my God. And then, of course, in the morning,
This is a great bit of film.
this is possibly, it might be in one of my top 3 bits of cinema.
What the cameo?
Introduction of Johnny C. McGinley.
I know.
coming in.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And this is like the height of like Scrubs as well.
Yeah.
Like, because I think Scrubs would have been on like season 5 or 6 at the moment.
7, yeah.
My next 2 points on the laugh tally chart were Dr. Cox.
Yeah,
Dr. Cox again. Because I was like, this is amazing.
I wonder if more scenes with John C. McGinley didn't get cut, because they set him up to be like a stalker on the whole trip, don't they? Like, they come to the next bit where they're in the fountain and like naked and whatever, and then John C. McGinley shows up and you're like, how has he shown up? Because they're in the middle of nowhere. They've left miles before him to get to this place, and yet John C. McGinley shows up what could be no more than 10 minutes after they've got into the water.
Already nude.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's not in the rest of the film, I'm pretty sure. They must have cut more stuff for John C. McGinley, because he was a very good character.
Yeah.
And John C. McGinley's great.
It's just, he's fantastic. He plays a comedic gay policeman so well.
He is just playing gay Dr. Cox, basically, because he comes a bit angry to start with. And then that little face he does when he wants to like be sarcastic and take the mick out of someone in Scrubs, and he gets like very animated. It was a lot of that Dr. Cox.
I mean, there's a fantastic line that I wrote down, which is, we've got 4 counts of indecent exposure, 2 counts of lewd, lascivious behaviour, and 1 count of insane jealous.
That It's very well acted, Alex. I think you should have started taking a McDonald's commercial.
If I could play that character in a McDonald's commercial. People in the drive-thru.
1 pound of insane jealousy.
Well, they're all nude.
Like, as well, just going back to that bit, like, when the family shop, surely the guys should just go, look, like, do not come in the water. Like, we were trying to be free. We are naked under here. Surely that would have just gone no more. The family would then not jump in the water.
Yeah, why would you not be like, no, it just don't.
Just look over there. There's our boxes. Now go away.
But I feel like that's the difference between British and Americans.
What, Americans will just try and lie and get through the situation?
Americans are just so positive. They'd be like, no, it's fine. Honestly, dick in water. Let's go. Whereas Brits would be like, nah.
That family,
disgusting.
The reaction was too much. Far too much.
They did have kids. Like, come on.
I have picture evidence. Not great for a podcast. But
Picture evidence.
This is Oscar-winning acting. The moment that John Travolta's dick is grabbed by the dad, and he just stares at him like, "Did I just grab your dick? Did I just grab your dick?"
Yeah, one a little bit of a twist here.
Grab his dick and twist it.
The old dick twist.
One joke that I highlighted here that I wrote down that I thought was really well delivered, but I think it was Dudley, was after the family have gone away, he just goes, I bet her potato salad was great. I thought that really made me laugh. I thought it was a really nicely delivered line. Did it get a laugh on your tally, James?
No.
No. Shame.
No, but there was a food-related joke that did, and that was the chili with Marissa Tomei.
What? Very much later on in the film.
Very much later on with the "that's food I want to kiss." I mean, eat. But I was also a bit overwhelmed seeing Marissa Tomei.
I was overwhelmed.
She's
Are you just thinking of Aunt May there?
what an actor. And yes, Aunt May. And now Marissa Tomei owning a diner.
Yeah.
Oh, what a dream.
Fair enough. I think we should roll back a bit because that's later on in the film.
We definitely should, because once they leave the lake bit, that's when they move on to the biker gang.
Yeah. Well, you get a few montage of them, you know, driving down the road.
It does look very cool.
Like 100%. Like, I completely agree with you.
But I don't know where they start.
They start in, like, isn't it based in Cincinnati?
Is it?
Yeah, and like somewhere in Ohio, isn't it?
That's a long way to go to the Pacific, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like 100%.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, but like, it just comes down to the size of America. Like, it is so cool to do a road trip there. Like, I did it, like, I didn't do a road trip like this, but last year when I was in California and I drove a car from, like, Palm Springs to San Diego to LA and things like that, it, like, even though it's massive and they're long drives, considering from where we come from in the UK, it is so much cooler of a road trip. Because in the UK, if you're going from, like, London to, let's say, Manchester or Devon or to Newcastle, you're just going along miles and miles of British motorway, and it is dull.
You can take a detour through the Peak District if you feel like.
Yeah, but that's it. And that's it. But driving across America, you have, in the space of a 3-hour drive, you go through so many different landscapes just in California that it's beautiful and it's amazing to do it. And even though I hate motorcycles, I would love to be confident enough to actually drive one. Is that doing it on a motorcycle? I think would be so cool.
Is that just because you live in London, and in London you want all of them to get hit by a bus really, really hard?
I can either confirm or deny that.
A lot of the cinematography of the film is just leans to a big wide shot of American typography and nature.
Yeah, but it's so cool.
It's gorgeous. And you have so
nice,
much
to
look at. Canyons, rivers, desert, whatever.
Like, I remember when I was doing my research, I remember like reading an article about, I think it was Tim Allen said when they were filming this, like they did like practice of riding motorcycles for like a few months before they started shooting, and they all became fairly confident on them.
Except Dudley.
Yeah, pretty much. That it was that they enjoyed doing those shots because like it is just a cool thing to do, like riding motorcycles down.
I can't believe that they wouldn't enjoy doing those shots.
Yeah, no, but
like, even if you're not confident, you'd just be like,
don't die.
Yeah. If I die, we'll stop Toy Story at Toy Story 2. That's fine. No, what we know now, it would have saved a lot of people a lot of heartache.
Do you know what? I reckon during this film, like Tim Allen would have been doing voiceover for Toy Story 3, or would have just, because Toy Story 3 came out in like 2010. So around the same time they would have been making Toy Story 3. Because obviously it takes bloody ages to make
True.
animations.
Oh, so then it would have been a really sad movie.
But yeah, that happens.
Where's Buzz? Buzz is gone.
That's what I never thought about before, actually.
Oh, but yeah. When they get to like the biker bar,
Yeah.
the biker gang is led by Jack
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. Why is a New Jersey / New Yorker running a biker bar in New Mexico? It's the equivalent of someone from Bristol running a biker bar in Aberdeen.
I think, again, it's like that thing of like in America, people just go to different states all the time, isn't it? Like, you don't necessarily need to, like, you know, born in New Jersey, a lot of people probably don't stay in Jersey. They probably go across America, don't they? And end up in different places.
That's true, but he's really menacing for a bar that seems to get very few customers.
That's the point, because it's only for like proper bikers. They don't want any posers in their bar, do they?
The second they get in there, it's instantly like, oh, Ray Liotta's here. And that is another great moment for this movie. He delivers a fantastic performance, but it's the equivalent of a pantomime performance. Like,
Yeah, it is.
This is great, but it means nothing.
But, like, just going on to this, so we've mentioned Marissa Tomei's in the film already, and John C. McGinley and Ray Liotta. These three characters, like, they are perfect and perfectly cast, because all three of them give perfect performances. They, like, other than the main four, they are like really well acted performances. For what we've already discussed is not a great film. They are great performances from the three of them.
They're great performances, and the amount of time that you see them isn't too much or too little.
Yeah, it is like those three characters are actually really good. And like there are other parts in this film, because you've got Carl Gass makes a cameo, that guy singing in the festival.
Is he an actual
That's Carl Gass, as in out of Tenacious D.
Oh my God.
Exactly. That's like he, again, perfect in everything Carl Gass is in.
I need to stop closing my eyes and singing along when he comes on.
Because Kevin Durant is like biker number 2 as well. I did have one sentence listed of how I described this film, and I think it's, as you mentioned, actors coming in and their characters. Kevin Durant is playing the big dumb character, but he's also another character who may be gay, because he makes a lot of balls in mouth jokes and he really wants balls in mouth. And I did describe this film as an older white man's favourite nostalgic homoerotic movie. Because, yeah, the themes are friendship, etc., but also quite a gay movie.
A lot of people want to be boning. I mean, you've got two characters of the YMCA already.
Exactly. It's quite a gay movie. And I just would love to introduce it to some certainly political leaning white older men, and they'll love this film and also be like, I'd be like, do you realise, boys, this movie is quite homoerotic?
Hang on a second, because I've already stated that I really like this movie.
There's anything wrong with that, Alex.
There's nothing wrong with that.
One of the big themes of this whole film is male friendships, and especially male friendships as we get older. Which isn't necessarily homoerotic. It's more about like how many close friends can you call upon when you get to your 40s and 50s.
There are, now you say it, there are a few moments in the film where John Travolta thinks that William H. Macy's character is going to fuck him. It's like, did you put your head on my back? That's it. That's like one of the opening scenes.
Yeah. I think, again, some of these jokes may not be written now, but
it's like just those two though. No one else is living with this fear. It's just those two.
Yeah, but out of the other three, like, yeah, John Travolta.
Yeah, yeah, but William H. Macy is given no indication that he wants to do that to Big Johnny T. But the fear is there.
The film is not homophobic. You know, there are characters that are like not reacting in a positive light to the gay police officer, for example. I'm terrible with remembering names from people in films, if you can't tell. And there is bad reactions to Kevin Durant's character, but it's more just gangsters punching him for being stupid, less about actually making it. They're like, what did you say?
It's not negative, it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it's almost a neutral outcome.
But the whole film is, and we'll get onto it later on, but is about, as Chandler mentioned, male friendship, male bonding, especially as older age men.
One more cameo I did want to touch on And I'm not sure you two may realise who he is, but the guy who plays the sheriff, Charlie, Stephen, I can never pronounce his name properly, Stephen Tobolowsky. Yeah, we'll go with that pronunciation. Did you guys ever watch Californication?
No,
Oh,
I recognise him though from
he's a really
stuff.
good. He's got a really good character in Californication. But he's also, if I remember rightly, he's also in he is Groundhog Day.
Is he?
No, yeah, you've seen Groundhog Day, right?
A long time ago.
He's Ned, the guy who comes up to Bill Murray's character and goes, "It's Ned Ryerson." No, don't worry.
But I've recognised him from. He always has he's like what's his name? He's just one of these people that pops up in Hollywood movies.
He is one of those people. Like he has, according to IMDb, he has 289 acting credits.
Yeah, but they're all like 2 minutes of "Hi guys," and then just goes away.
Yeah, but he's great in he's great in everything he's in.
Yeah,
he is really good.
He just plays the same
guy.
It's like when Fred Armisen pops up in a Hollywood movie. It's always just "Hello." Can I help you? No, you can't help me. Okay, bye-bye. And that's it. That's all he does.
There was a character. I've got a very niche. Like, what were they in?
Yeah, go on.
So Drew Sidora plays the daughter of. I need to know what the character's called.
Of Bobby.
Of Martin Lawrence, yeah, Bobby.
He's the only one that has a daughter in the film.
Good
Nice.
Good point. What was she in? This is very niche, and I don't think you'll get it unless you watched Disney Channel circa 2003.
No, not for me then. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
No, but you're on the right
I'm
track.
on the right track, yeah, I don't know. Raven?
That's so Raven.
Is it?
No, I get the point. I buzzed.
Indeed, that's so Raven. And also Step Up.
What, the film with Channing Tatum?
Yeah.
That's Channing Tatum, isn't it? Yeah.
I can't
I've never
recall
seen it.
which Step Up, but I believe Step Up 1, yes, with Channing Tatum.
Is Step Up like Magic Mike, but for children?
Step Up is, in a sense that there's dancing in both those movies.
And Channing Tatum's there.
And Channing Tatum's in.
Does at any point he take his top off?
Probably, yes.
I've never seen Step Up. If I remember rightly, I think
Step Up is just a dance film.
I think Step Up is where Channing Tatum met his first wife, if I remember rightly.
She stepped up.
Yeah, they were both in. yeah,
Down from the marriage.
Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan, yeah. I'm pretty sure they met on the set of Step Up.
Oh.
Yeah, little fact.
I was like, where do I know this person from? Oh, yeah, that's a Raven.
I'm not gonna lie, James. Like, I love playing that game of I've seen this minor bit character in a film, like where I'm going to spend the whole rest of the movie thinking of where they're from. That is some good children's TV knowledge.
I thought they were a cheetah girl. They were not a cheetah girl.
What the hell's a cheetah girl?
Cheetah Girl was one of those like straight to TV Disney movies, and it was just an R&B group singing basically in New
Based
York.
on what's Beyonce's group called?
Maybe there were four
Destiny's
of them.
Child.
Again, Raven, Simone from That So Raven was in Cheetah Girls,
I
and
feel
then
like
I thought it was another
remember.
character, and then that's
The
why I
Cheetah
eventually
Girls.
realised
Oh
that
my
she's
God,
in
this is
That's So
actually a
Raven.
thing.
Out in like 2003.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah.
Good knowledge, James.
I watched a lot of Disney Channel as a kid.
Next week, Phineas and Ferb.
Incredible cartoon.
Anyway, moving on.
If I may jump back into the movie, the bit where they all leave, William H. Macy's bike is gone, and then Johnny Travolta goes back to get it and cuts all the fuel lines.
Yeah.
Why are there keys left in all of the bikes?
Yeah.
Is this a thing that happens in America?
Because it happens on a lot of films, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've noted this down as well. Like, there's always just keys. Like, the thing of like when you get in a car and they pop down the wind visor and then there's keys there as well. And you're like, why?
Who the fuck is putting their keys in their car when
Yeah,
they're
I know.
closing the door?
I have no idea.
I think they only showed keys in the one bike, and it was the one they left behind. So
Yeah, but still, why has Dudley left his keys in that bike?
Now that makes sense though, because he's. Oh yeah, why?
he's taking because they're taking the bike from Dudley.
Yeah, but why would you? Why would you take the keys off him and put the keys in the ignition and go? Ha look, they're in
We're
the
going to leave
ignition.
him here if you just come back.
I don't know what I'm trying to defend it.
But here's the other thing. And here's the other thing, right? And it's like, how far have they driven away for then John Travolta to then walk back, cut all the fuel lines, and then drive back to them that it's still daylight outside?
You can see
That's got to be an hour.
No, you can see the bar in the distance.
Fine, an hour. Fine,
But
right?
the walk is probably about a half an hour walk.
No, but here's the other thing, right? Which is fucks up about the time in this movie. After this, they then go to a petrol station, right? And then they fill up with petrol, and it says, no, like, petrol for 200 miles. Yeah.
But they don't fill up.
But no, exactly. But then they obviously run out of petrol, and then they have to walk. How far have they had to walk? Because Like, surely they've only been able to drive like 50 to 100 miles. Then they've then got to walk another 100 miles for that next petrol station.
That's what I was going to say. I thought you were going to lead on to the wrong point there. I was like, how are you filling up your bike when you've still got 200 miles of fuel in it?
Yeah.
How are you being like, oh, I think I should fill up now?
So they could have only driven like 30, 40, 50 miles, right? And then had to then walk the other 150.
Well,
so it's like walking 150 miles, bearing in mind it's like 3 to 4 miles an hour that people can walk at, when they got to push heavy bloody bikes, like surely they are not making that walk.
Yeah, but they climbed in the scene that you see them get to, Madrid.
There's something else in that. There's something else in that line which I've problems with.
They're at the top of the hill, which could lead us to think that they go downhill quite a lot, so they could ride on the bikes downhill.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. But I think you're giving them too much credit for that. But then you're talking about when they go to Madrid. Dudley says, "Oh yeah, it's pronounced Madrid. I googled it." How have you googled it? You've thrown all your phones away, and you've been walking for 100 miles.
Yeah, but I will say they've clearly planned this trip, and if there's anyone that's going to remember it, it's the guy with the apple tattoo on his arm.
Clearly, they have not planned this trip that well.
They did plan
They
this.
didn't plan it like we got to be. They wrote planned it like we got to be here by this point. Not like every single town they're going to pass.
No, it's not like Arctic exploration. They're not like, we need to reach this point before winter sets in, or we'll die. It's it's just, let's go here, then here, then here, and then we'll take Route 77 or whatever down through New Mexico.
But I can't remember. They did say what make of bike that Dudley had. You could look up the amount of fuel that it can store.
I'm not doing that. That's far too pernickety.
I don't think those bikes are great on fuel consumption.
No, there's definitely an issue. They try to fix that, and with the in Madrid, they get there and they are so thirsty to the point that they go and steal things from people's tables. So it's very out of character scene for the four nice men generally.
I hate that
to
as
go
well.
Down the beer and they'll get behind the bar and use the water hose.
Yeah.
It's behind the bar, it's drinking the beer and then growling at the phone.
I was like,
he grabs the beer, turns to them and goes, "Arr," which I guess is the equivalent in PG films of going, "Fuck you, it's my beer."
That's why they're all like, Del Fuegos.
Actually, I'm so happy you brought up Del Fuegos. Slight siding. Del Fuego, of course, in Spanish means...
I didn't know that.
Fire.
Of fire.
Their bar gets blown up. Another fantastic bit of writing. They are of fire. Their bar gets blown up, so they are now of the fire.
Two things I want to say to that. Wait, there are genuinely two things I want to say to that. One, ridiculous way they blow up the bar. The Rayliota just drops his cigarette on all the gas and it just goes boom. Fair enough. I'm sure that works. Physics, fine, whatever. Second thing is, I'm really glad you brought up the writer there. Because the writer, Brad Copeland, I wrote down 3 things from his IMDb, 2 which I think are great. Arrested Development, he used to write on. My Name is Earl, he used to write on, which if you haven't seen, you need to go rewatch all 4 seasons.
He did only write 3 episodes of My Name is Earl.
Yeah, but he's still in the part of the writer's room and things like that, isn't he? Like he's produced on it and whatever. That basically means he's in the writer's room. However, the one thing that will probably always tarnish his reputation...
I think I know what you're going to say.
He was the co-creator and showrunner of the American remake of The In-Betweeners. Like, what a stain on your career that has to be. Because out of 3 people in this room who love The In-Betweeners, that remake is fucking awful.
It is, but in defense of Brad Copeland, he did write the movie Ferdinand, about the bull. It's an animated children's movie. I haven't seen it, but it looks nice on the posters.
Are you looking to James because he brought up all the Disney films?
Yes.
over my head.
You've never seen Ferdinand the Bull?
No.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry, Brad.
Sorry, Brad.
Oh, you've mentioned the writer, and I don't know how we're going to get this into the podcast, but it must be. But you mentioned the director.
Oh yeah. So obviously, yeah, the film's directed by someone called Walt Becker, who, before I mentioned his big thing, he was a co-creator on a TV show called Glory Days. Either of you ever watched that?
Heard of it.
It was based around like 4 college students getting into college and going into frats, based in the 80s. It only lasted like 1 or 2 seasons. I remember really enjoying it. I can't remember why it got cancelled. But the film he directed, which is probably the film we should have done before this one, or maybe on our next episode, is...
Far superior film.
Yeah, it is a far superior film.
You've seen it.
Comedy Central circa 2010,
Yeah, it would've
about
always
every
be
other
on.
week.
He directed Van Wilder Party Liaison, which is a great film. Far superior
Origins
film.
of Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. But actually, Alex, you'll love this. So do you know what Van Wilder Party Liaison's based on?
National Lampoon?
No. The company who produced the film bought the rights to an article from the Rolling Stone the rights of that article became Van Wilder Party Liaison. It's based on an article Rolling Stone wrote about a college student at Florida State in the 90s who was there for 8 years. Exactly. Who is it?
Oh my God, it's Bert Kreischer.
Yes!
Oh my God!
It's based on the article from Bert Kreischer. And if no one knows who Bert Kreischer is, please go look him up. He's a fantastic comedian. And he's one of mine and Alex's absolute favourites.
This is why Chandler records every podcast with no shirt on.
Sure. Maybe in a few more gym sessions time.
We've got to the meat and drink of the film now, which we've talked about.
The final act.
The final act, because most of the build-up takes a long time in this film. This was one of my main issues with it, was that to really get to it, you've to slog.
Me and Alex completely disagree. We do not feel like it's that boring.
It's just a boulder going down a hill. Yeah. When it's running, it's running.
I feel like the film starts when they set the tent on fire. Most of the rest of that could have been condensed into 15 minutes and not 45.
Not when they attacked the trucker with a cell phone? Not when they attacked the trucker with a cell phone?
I really like that funny bit.
It did not make the chuckle list. It did not make the chuckle. I was like, typical.
Violence against truckers should not be tolerated.
Do what you want, but it didn't make me laugh. The film really starts rolling as soon as they get to the town. Dudley falls in love with Marissa Tomei very fast, which is fair enough. It's Marissa Tomei. She reciprocates very fast. So in my head, I like to make it make sense. It's at least been a few days. It definitely hasn't. But yeah, it did make at the chili contest.
Yeah.
There was a chili eating contest, and that did make the chuckle shot. The food I want to kiss. I mean, eat by Dudley. That made the chuckle shot. That was good.
Out of all these chuckles, Dudley's your favourite character.
Dudley is favourite character, yeah, for sure.
Is it because he reminds you most of yourself?
No, I'm not that much of a bumbling idiot.
Nerd.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a nerd.
Can't talk to girls? Check.
I can talk to girls.
Apple tattoo.
One girl. You can talk to one girl, and that's your partner.
Sure.
It could be said that his second line to her, I want to kiss the I want to kiss the chili.
That's food I want to kiss.
Yeah. His second line is much worse.
Which is?
A food I want to eat.
What he said he wants to eat.
He's like, I want to kiss. I want to eat.
Hey, if you flip it like that, he says he wants to eat Marissa Tomei and kiss food.
Anyway, right. Well, so the Del Fuegos find them in Madrid, and they cause havoc to the town. Yeah. Which, you expect from bikers. That's the stereotype.
This is where it gets absolutely horrendous. They clearly had a longer ending, but someone said, you need to end it now.
What, in an hour and a half? You have 90 minutes and that's it.
They were like, it needs to end pronto. And they were like, oh, well, Ray Liotta's dad turns up, fixes everything, everyone goes away.
Yeah, fair enough.
Movie's over.
It's the funny thing, right? And when everything's over and finished, the wives and Tim Allen's wife and Bobby's wife and the son arrive. How have they got there so quick? They only got rang that day. How have they arrived in New Mexico in the space of, let's say, 3 hours, right? Bear in mind, we've seen them go through days and nights already. How have they ended up there? How? See, I know the face you're giving me here, James. It's like, who cares? But this matters. How have they walked 100 miles? And also, how have their wives got there that quickly?
100 miles?
We're talking about how far they walked.
Things happen. You are displayed it in linear fashion, but it doesn't mean in universe it's happening in a linear fashion.
Okay, bollocks. This film is not that clever. This film is happening in linear fashion. They have been rung, and how have they got there?
In fairness, it does take 18 hours and 4 minutes to drive from Cincinnati
to New Mexico.
Exactly.
How has that happened?
They have a day. Fine.
No, they do not have a day. They have literally hours. They have literal hours.
They could have flew, rent a car.
See, that is the only way it could be done. But it's not said that they have that much money to be able to do that. And also then to take their son out of school to fly.
Why also...
who is looking after Bobby's daughter if their mum is there as well?
Why are they taking their son to a biker?
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to need all the muscle we can get. Come on, Timmy. And also, you're telling me not one of these bikers has a gun? This is
Yeah, this is America.
Southern America.
To be fair,
Also a kids film, also a film produced by Disney.
I didn't.
I think so.
I didn't even think someone was going to get punched.
You just thought they were going to get gunned down? It was like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
I thought it was just all a big thing about insecure masculinity, and there wasn't going to be a punch, and it was going to be a bit of a conversation, maybe a bit of aggro, maybe one punch, not an actual fight, comical fight, but still a fight. And they were going to make up, and that'd be it. Because Disney movie, happy ending, happy go lucky. But then no, there actually was a little mini brawl.
I really hope. I quite like the fight scene. I thought it was quite well done.
I liked it when everyone got up from being knocked down one by one and just got immediately punched one after the other straight back down.
But they all get up, and for some reason, Ray Liotta's character just turns around and goes, "Really?" It's like, yeah. Unless one of them has a machine gun.
I did in the fight. Made the chuckle chart.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah.
Is it the bit where he punches him on his helmet and then William H. Macy's character goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. I'm wearing my helmet."
No, it was throw sand. Throw sand. And then he throws sand at his crotch.
That's a good little funny bit. And then that's the film. That's basically the whole plot of the film.
Yeah. We skipped some things on the
chuckle chart.
Chuckle chart. One thing for sure was the bull when it opens the gate.
Oh, we've got that slapping the ball bit as well.
I didn't find the slapping the ball bit that funny, but when the bull opened the gate, and ran out, that got me.
Also, how are they not dead? Let's be honest. How are they not dead?
You've commented on a lot of points why this film is unrealistic, and that's why you're going to.
I was so against slapping the bull. It was horrendous to see that. I can't believe you treat dinner like this.
Also, that scene involved a sheriff and the police, but it was all the Doom jokes. Our training's from Doom.
Yeah,
if their training was actually from Doom, they would have shotguns and they would be running through all 50 of the bikers, shooting them one by one. I refuse to believe that their training was from the game Doom, because they would have been brutal.
It is such a good reason that they don't have guns as police officers. It's like, oh, well, we shot his ear off, so we've decided no guns for us.
Imagine if America was actually like that. There would be no guns anywhere.
Generally how other countries have worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh, we've had one massacre. Right, no one's allowed guns. America, here's more guns.
You shot his ear off. Did you have a gun to stop the man who shot his ear off? No. Oh, well, there's your problem.
But yeah, you say the film's done. There's the last thing in the chuckle chart.
Yeah, go on.
Was the home improvement rebuilding the bar in the credits.
Oh, that I loved that bit. I
was cracking
so
up.
good.
I turned it off before this.
What?
my
You didn't actually see this?
I remember it from seeing it a long time ago, but I didn't see it in
There's
the
like
most
the, it's like
recent
the
watch.
So
extreme
good.
extreme home makeover, whatever the show used to be called, and they rebuild the bar, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's amazing!" And Radio's characters going like, "I fucking hate it."
No, we loved it really.
Yeah, it's such a really good comedic bit. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That's the end of the film. Jack's dad comes along. Is Jack here, Jack?
Yeah.
Jack's dad comes along and sorts it all out, basically saying his son's being an idiot, doesn't know what being a biker truly is.
It's so stupid.
It is. But what else do you expect from this type of film?
I wanted a Rambo style ending of just someone gets out a machine gun.
I am not thrilled. I'm not thrilled about the pacing and structure of this movie. As I said, takes too long to get going for anything interesting to actually happen. However, they actually foreshadow that, at least. There's actually a little bit of pre-planning. They know how it was going to end. The biker that built the bar. They mentioned the biker that built the bar, and they want to follow his ways.
Yeah.
Just like earlier, when
just like this guy, he was a real biker. He built the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we don't know it's his dad.
No, that's true.
But that's when it leans into what I thought before.
That's
There wouldn't
also
actually be a
such a
fight. And
stupid
I
line.
thought they were just like insecure
Cheers,
bullies.
Mark.
Because they were just insecure bullies that didn't really know what they were doing, trying to be like thugs.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the dad's come along like, chill out, ride your bike.
Chill out and ride your bike.
That is a good tagline for this movie. Chill out and ride your bike.
That is essentially the movie in a nutshell, isn't it? Just chill out and ride your bike. Stop being a dick.
It's time for the game. It's a simple game. We're going to stick to Wild Hogs with this one. In future, as you know, Chandler, I want to really test your knowledge on script and quotes because you come out of quotes of things I've never heard of all the time. But that's for a future episode. That's going to take some work for me to put together to really test you because, yeah, your knowledge is next level. But what we're going to do, got some excerpts from the movie and we're going to take it in turns. And I want you to tell me which characters were having these conversations. We'll start with an easy one. I think it's easy anyway. So, quote number 1, Alex, you'll start because you're on my left.
And that's how things work.
Yeah, and also, again, Chandler and quotes. Good luck.
You just set me up to fail now. I'm so going to lose this game.
Good. So, what's painful is I've got to read these out, which I'm not looking forward to.
Are you going to do an accent?
Can we have your best American accent?
No.
Please?
No. Under pressure, definitely not. If I wasn't, yes. So, Woody. Oh shit, I can't do that one.
Oh, Woody.
That's so funny. Shit, I've got to find a different one. This will do. Thanks. I feel really safe with you. I noticed that. If you ever lay your head on my back while riding, bitch, I'll throw you into traffic. I was just trying to keep the wind out of my face. I felt you smell my neck. Did you smell that man's neck? His cologne is fantastic. It's musky with an oaky finish, like a lawyer cowboy. A lawyer cowboy? Question?
Cover your hand up.
Saying I know the answer.
I know the answer as
So
well.
what are the 2 characters involved in that, Alex?
There's 3 characters involved in that.
Yeah, there's 3.
There are 3, yeah, go for it.
It's Doug, Dudley, and Woody. I'm not cheating, by the way. I just have the characters' names in front of me. I just don't want to.
Is it Doug? Is it not Bobby? Who says, did you smell that man's neck?
It's Doug, right?
It's Bobby, isn't it?
I need to sort myself out on this, yeah. Yeah, you're wrong.
Do I pick up the point then?
Yeah, Chandler picks up the point with the correct one.
Get in there.
Bullshit.
Now, shall I give you a harder one, Chandler?
Yes.
Or not?
Just give me a question.
Just two lines simple. In my day, the women stayed home, not the lazy men. In your day, men were busy building pyramids. How long ago was that?
So that's Bobby, and then Bobby's mother-in-law.
He's done
I
it.
can't remember. Do I need to say her name?
Mother-in-law is fine because
Mother-in-law is fine.
Mother-in-law is exactly what's written down.
Yeah.
Sharon Smith. I get the point.
Her name's not Sharon Smith.
This one might have to be cut out. Anyone else getting that pre-rape feeling? I do.
Doug.
No. Two characters.
The I do is the Kevin Durant line.
Yes.
And the other one would be Jack?
No.
If he gets it wrong, can it be thrown over? Can it come back?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, why not?
Have an answer ready at least.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Correct.
Yes!
And he's in.
Come on!
That's the maximum amount of throwovers we're going to do because, yeah, like otherwise you're just going through the cast.
Yeah, exactly. You can't come back to me. So what's that? 2-1 to me at the moment.
2-1 to you. Now, this is a line that made me laugh, but not because
So this is one of the chuckle charts.
It's not chuckle chart because I laughed because of. I wanted to bring this in later, but the partner's perspective. I laughed because of what my girlfriend said. But the line is, "The music moves me, but it moves me ugly."
That's Dudley.
That is Dudley, and Emily, my girlfriend, just goes, "Same."
Just go back to the plot. I did really enjoy the William H. Macy and John Travolta dancing scene. Very, very. I was like, this is top notch.
Again, though, he stops dancing when he thinks he's gave William H. Macy a boner. He's like, yeah, no.
And you've been talking about realism in this film. All of a sudden, he's an incredible dancer.
Yeah, fair point. Like 4 second of lessons. But to be fair, 4 second of lessons from John Travolta will make anyone a good
Yeah,
dancer.
a man who's been making movie theatres moist since the mid-70s.
Next one. When we drink piss, we drink it cold. What? We don't drink piss.
Bald geezer. His name I can't remember. The bald guy, the one you mentioned earlier, the bald fella.
Great,
The one who loves eating balls.
Yeah, him.
Him. And
This is hard, I think.
We drink piss, we drink it cold. It's him and the old biker dude whose name I can't remember. Murdoch, thank you. Do I get the...
No, I'll let Alex have the point.
Okay, fine.
He knew the character he was talking about.
Because it is Murdoch. Well done. Did he say cracker? Cracker ass. Oh, perfect.
Did he? So Bobby's... no. So Bobby said cracker ass is the second one. When he's...
You're already wrong, Alex.
What? No, see, Alex thinks I'm right.
It's... he said cracker.
It's in reference
It's John...
to Bobby saying cracker ass.
I see.
John Travolta? He say cracker ass?
I think we're going to have to call that one there and say neither of you've got it right.
Was it Doug?
It's Doug and Dudley.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's Doug saying cracker. Did he say cracker? And it's Dudley saying cracker ass. Is that right?
It is, Doug saying, yeah.
That also caught me off guard, by the way, when he said that in the movie. I was like, whoa.
I also really enjoyed the bit where he's just spraying mustard and ketchup on them.
It's the cross arm, right? Oh, God, the next one's going to be like, I done you up like a hot dog.
How many more questions do you have? Is it still 2-1 to me, isn't it?
It's 3-2, and I want to do first to 5.
Okay, go on. Have you got enough questions for first to 5?
Forget about them. More fun for us. Like what you see, huh? Let's get involved.
Is it me? It's me, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, it's you.
I know the answer as well.
What was the line? I was too busy concentrating.
Forget about them. More fun for us. Like what you see. Let's get involved.
Johnny C. McGinley stood over them at the pool.
Correct.
England levels it.
You would have got an extra point if you said Dr. Cox.
I named him.
What's his character name?
He doesn't have one. He is Highway Patrolman.
Is he really? That's why he wasn't in the rest of the movie.
Holy crap! It's the Golden Knight.
Oh,
To steal. I'm ready to steal.
it's one or the other. Because it can only be one or the other.
You give me one.
I am going to go for Woody.
Correct.
Yes! Because it can only be Woody or Bobby.
I need to say I'm the Golden Knight.
This game would have been better with buzzers.
Golden Knight? With gusto, though.
With gusto.
That's the bit. That's the line. I want you to say I'm the Golden Knight.
What's the next one, James?
God, I ran out of fun quotes. Shit film. You coming back through? Maybe. Biker never knows. A week, a month. 6 days, 10 hours, 27 minutes, give or take 6 minutes for wind distance.
Dudley. And Chili Lady.
Chili Lady.
Marissa.
Yeah.
Kamano.
You're right, but it's not her name. It's Marissa Tomei.
Thank you.
How dare you?
I got the first name right.
How do you not? We've been literally speaking about her for about an hour.
I zoned out. You were talking about the wrong Aunt May.
Yeah.
Finish it.
The Aunt May that actually looks like an aunt. Okay, you're both 4 and 4, which is not great.
Are we buzzering here?
So
I think that's a good shout. I think a buzzer. So
just say your name. Say our buzzers are our names.
no, I want buzzers from you both. What is your buzzer?
It's Phil Neville. Show some fucking respect.
Okay.
All right, I'll go Gary Neville. Unbelievable!
In Indian Gary Neville.
Shut up.
I think what I'll do is I'm just going to do a part of a quote.
Oh, we have to finish it.
It's just a great idea.
I know we've named all the big quotes. What's this one going to be?
I want buzzers, boys. You're gonna finish a line. I'm not gonna read a whole excerpt. You're gonna finish a line from a character. I want the character and the line.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be 2 words. I need 2 words. So fingers/mouths on buzzers. Don't bring the money. I'm a computer programmer. I don't need.
Unbelievable.
Chandler.
It's Dudley and my hands.
It's wrong. Throw it over to the other side.
Oh no!
Show some fucking respect.
Yes, Alex. You were only half right, Chandler.
I'm a computer programmer. I don't need my legs.
And the character just for
Dudley.
Alex takes the win.
That's annoying.
All right, we'll break his hands.
I don't need.
Bring the money! Bring the money!
Did that get a laugh? Was that in the chuckle shot?
No.
That wasn't in the Chuckle Chart.
It could have been.
Watch that with a straight face.
We got to the point where I enjoyed the film at that point, so the Chuckle Chart might have
Gone away.
a little bit.
Producer James, can you add? Remember, we need to keep a tally of who wins these games every week. So
Yeah, true.
Alex has unfortunately won the first one.
Alex has won the first game. Alex is one up. So Alex is the winner of our first game. We'll be keeping score of this throughout the season, let's say. Charlie came up with a great idea off mic that there should be a forfeit to the loser at the end of the season. Please send your suggestions in for the forfeit at the end of the season. We'll note down the Instagram and or email address in the episode description on your podcast platform of choice. Let's not be too crazy, but we can build that up in future seasons. See how mad these two boys will go. As producer James, I'm happy I will not be involved.
I'm not dropping anything off.
We should also, as producer James just said, we should also get a forfeit. Producer James just has to do one at the end of every season now.
Whatever the forfeit is, you have to do it with us.
Closing the Instagram account.
And as me and Alex outrule you, because two beats one, you're in it.
Producers are important, isn't it?
Democracy.
Say no. But now, moving on, we've kind of gone through what we think, what we liked through the majority of the film, or what we didn't like. I think we all kind of have differing opinions on the film, but there is obvious themes to this film, and I've hinted at the homoerotic nature of the film, and that is used in a comedic way. But there are a more serious theme of the film, which I think is, good in a masculinity context. I think Chandler, you had some ideas on it.
Yeah, the two main themes of this film are like people going through midlife crisis and also male friendships, and which, as someone who is very close to turning 30, I'm sort of going through a quarter life crisis, i.e. why we're starting a podcast.
Good point.
And it's the thing about, you come to a point in your life where you're like, I'm going to look back and I want to see how I've got to this point. Am I really happy? Do I need to change something? Or do I just need an experience, a life, once in a lifetime experience, which this is like going on a road trip with your friends is a great experience. And it's something, people should do. And that leads on to like male friendships. Sometimes they're depicted really well. Sometimes they're depicted really badly. Like this one, you can see their friendships grow throughout the film, and like how John Travolta actually opens up to his friends at the end of the film going, my life is awful and I need you guys to be there for me. And, that's a really good message to take away from the film. Like, how many friends can the three of us really, truly count on to open ourselves up to and go, boys, we need help. Like, can you be there for me? And it's actually a really touching message for the film to leave you on.
I think you're right. And given where we are today in the world, and you've got freaking like alpha male crap and incel stuff all over the internet. This is 2007. And I just think it handles, as you say, you mentioned male friendships in a realistic way, and there's no real signs of overtly toxic masculinity in the film. They're all quite open with each other. There's loads of nudity in the film, endless, like as I've mentioned before, homoerotic jokes, and it's generally done quite fine. I don't think it's too insulting. Again, look, I am ultimately another straight white male, so it might not be the best to comment on it. But I felt generally, you might be able to find offence, but I thought it was handled quite well. And I don't know, I think that's more realistic male friendship. Everyone's just making tasteful dick jokes every now and again. But they were all quite open with each other. Yeah, it does take the film for characters to open up, but you don't often get to see in real life many people that are happy to open up on their personal lives, what's making them sad, what's affecting them at the time, especially men. Unfortunately, even though more and more people are going to therapy, there's more openness generally about male emotion, still not normal. I bottle stuff up from time to time, and I'm sure you two do as well. And I think the film really handles that quite well, and especially for its middle-aged men. I do want to point out, we noted down old age. These guys aren't old, and I found it really confusing how old they were, because they have kids, quite young kids, teenagers, or like a 12-year-old. They're probably in their 40s, early 40s, realistically, but they are portrayed older, like late 40s, 50s, which are I did find a bit confusing. But either way, it doesn't take away from the point of that. These are older men having quite a emotionally open journey. And I just think it's quite nice. It's nice to see, especially from 2007. And that is where I think I would value a rewatch of something I didn't particularly enjoy as a film. I do still think it was dull, but it's still a nice message.
I just enjoyed it. It's an hour and a half. You never get movies that are an hour and a half now. If you do, it's a terrible accident in the editing room. They were meant to be 3.5 hours and have about 17 different things in it. It's an hour and a half. It builds in such a nice, basic way that it just goes through and you just taken on this journey, and then you finish it and you're like, that was nice. I didn't have to work too hard to understand everything that was going on. I had a lovely journey. I've met some 4 characters that aren't, it's not too in-depth. They just are what they are. They've had a lovely road trip, blew up someone's bar. That was iffy. And now they're at the end, and 3 of them are happy. John Travolta's still got a terrible life to go back to. That is also just glossed over. He's had the shit kicked out of him, and now he's like, right, best go lose everything. And yeah, it's just a lovely movie. Thank you for listening to the Pratfalling podcast. Follow us at the Pratfalling pod on Instagram. And remember, life is a highway. You got to ride it all night long. You wanted cheese? The cheddar is right there. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
See ya. That was the first of the Vault episodes. That was Wild Hogs, a movie that I enjoyed looking back on. I really enjoyed that. It was good fun. Next week we'll be doing Hot Tub Time Machine, absolute classic. I remember recording this one. Again, we did it in person. Is this the one that we did in James's flat?
No, that was the 3rd episode from the Vault.
That was the 3rd episode. That's a shame. You're going to have to wait for that one.
It's funny how you say, did we do that from James's flat? And it's like, hey, where did we do the other 2? We did it from our previous place of work because the office was deserted.
We did. We did it in a professional environment when we were professionals. Now this is dissolved into just anarchy. It's goodbye from James. Goodbye.
He's off in the ether somewhere, so it's probably goodbye from him.
It's probably a goodbye from him. He's probably feeding a pig right now, telling it all about child labour laws in the US and how so many people have to sweep up leaves for $10 an hour. When its actual life is probably only worth $1. It's goodbye from Chandler.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
Don't forget to rate, review, and share the podcast. It really helps us grow. Follow us on all our socials, plus our individual Letterboxd accounts. The links can be found in the description at www.hopwithtwopies.bio/3takes or search for 3 Takes of Stupidity on most platforms. Please send us your film and series suggestions on our Hop page or to 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com. Thank you and hope to see you soon.